role in Michigan and Connecticut.
This is the L2C Media Network. This is Sports Final. I hope you love the refresh. Anyway, what is this thing called? Sports Final, sponsored in part by Nhl Sportsbooks. Let's make it interesting, and let's make it interesting responsibly. And the L2C Media Network. Now, he's a little wounded, but I think he can pull through for at least 45 minutes. Here's our man who makes the headlines, the details, the sports. Here's Steve. Oh, boy. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to this little bit of fun. And yes, you can tell we're low budget. We don't have one of these mic fuzzies, you know, the ones that cover up so you don't pop your piece. So as you can see, we do practice safe show. There you go. Yep. Safe show, so we put a mask on the microphone. We're definitely low budget, folks, so let's put it this way. Okay, by the way, got a lot of NFL, and so for Alex Sims over there at WSYR TV, Syracuse 9, ABC, we're dedicating this half to her. Why? Because why not? If you're a football fan, you got to be interested in the free agency fandango. So we got some updates, some reports, and everything else to give you. And how do we do that, folks? Simple. By magic. Yes, let's do some sports. So here we go. Face to face, a couple of silver spoons. Let's rock it out. And wow, the excitement is contagious. How contagious? Well, we can't even do that joke. Boo. Okay, let's get to the rear window of joy and happiness we like to call the list that has so far been updated to give you all the signings. Okay. Gee whiz, where's all the signings, gang? Ah, there we are. Thank you. One potential side effect of the coronavirus vaccine is that people are so here we go. We at least got the top 100. So here we go. Bam, bam. Then, of course, we give you all that plus the scores. And that does not look like our sports thing. That looks like something else. We're supposed to have the list. The list. Can we get the list? Good. We're getting the list. Yes. Man, I should have chalked it there. Okay, here we go. The list is this. Dak Prescott re-signed with the Cowboys. Lovely. Dak Prescott, quarterback for the Cowboys, re-signed 4 years, $160 million. Defensive lineman Leonard Williams re-signed with the Giants. 3 years, $63 million. Chris Godwin got the franchise tag from the Buccaneers. Brandon Sheriff got the offensive guard, got the franchise tag from Washington. Trent Williams, the offensive tackle from San Francisco, he's been unsigned. Shaquille Barrett, edge player for the Buccaneers, re-signed 4 years, $72 million. Allen Robinson, wide receiver for the Bears. He's been franchise tagged. Justin Simmons, safety for the Broncos. He's been franchise tagged. Taylor Morton, offensive tackle for Carolina, has been franchise tagged. Kenny Golladay, wide receiver for the Lions, unsigned still. Big mistake, Detroit. Come on. Joe Thuney, offensive guard for the Patriots, signed a 5-year, $80 million deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hunter Henry, tight end for the Chargers, signed a 3-year, $375 million deal with the Patriots. Marcus Williams, safety for the Saints, got the franchise tag placed on him. Levante David, linebacker, re-signed 2 years, $25 million. Jonnu Smith, tight end, will sign 4 years, $50 million. Corey Lindsley, center, signed a 5-year, $62.5 million deal. John Johnson, safety, signed 3 years, $33.75 million. Carl Lawson, edge, signed 3 years, $45 million. Curtis Samuel, wide receiver, unsigned. I don't believe most of the. Where are the symbols? Where are the symbols? Jeez. Hang on, folks. I'm going to do this, thus, and do so we don't get the bad news mixed in. But let's go to the free agency tracker, and we'll get everything right as rain. All right. Let's get to it. The AFC East. Good. We screwed up, but now we're coming back on strong. The AFC East, Buffalo Bills, wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders agreed to a 1-year contract with the Bills upon his official release. Offensive tackle Darrell Williams agreed to a 3-year contract worth $28.2 million with nearly $14 million guaranteed. Offensive guard Jean Feliciano agreed to a 3-year contract. Linebacker Mac Milano agreed to a 4-year, $41.5 million contract worth $21.5 million over the first 2 years. Punter Matt Hack agreed to terms on a 3-year contract. For the Dolphins, quarterback Jacoby Brissett signed a. Why have I got something covering this up? Thank you. Jacoby Brissett signed a 1-year, $5 million contract. Running back Malcolm Brown signed a free agent deal with Miami. Offensive tackle Isaiah Wilson acquired in a trade with Tennessee along with a 2022 7th-round pick in exchange for a 2021 7th-round selection. The trade does not become official until the start of the new league year on March 17th. Linebacker Benedict McKinney acquired in trade with Houston Texans for defensive end Shaq Lawson. Trade does not begin or become official until the start of the new league year on March 17th. Punter Michael Paladri signed a 1-year deal. Patriots, boy, did they do some good. Re-signed Cam Newton to a 1-year deal worth up to $13.6 million. Newton's deal has a base value of $5.1 million, $2 million signing bonus, $1.5 million guaranteed base salary, $1.5 million total and per game roster bonuses, $100,000 workout bonus, and $8.5 million in incentives. Wide receiver Nelson Aguilar agreed to a 2-year deal worth $26 million. His deal has an annual base salary of $11 million with $2 million in incentives per year. Wide receiver Kendrick Bourne signed a 3-year deal worth $22.5 million. Tight end Hunter Henry agreed to a 3-year, $37.5 million contract that includes $25 million fully guaranteed. Tight end Jonnu Smith agreed to a 4-year, $50 million deal that includes $31.25 million fully guaranteed. Offensive tackle Trent Brown acquired in a trade with the Las Vegas Raiders along with a 2022 7th-round pick in exchange for a 2022 5th-round pick. Trade, of course, not official until the start of the new league year on March 17th, which, by the way, is tomorrow. Shocking, but true. Defensive end Dietrich Wise Jr. agreed to a 4-year contract worth up to $30 million with $10 million guaranteed. Defensive tackle Davon Goodchild agreed to a 2-year deal worth up to $16 million. That includes $9 million fully guaranteed. Defensive line Henry Anderson, a 2-year, $7 million deal that has a max value of $11 million with incentives. Linebacker Matt Judon agreed to a 4-year, $56 million deal that includes $32 million over the first 2 years. Cornerback Justin Bethel re-signed on a 3-year, $6 million deal that includes $2.75 guaranteed and some Pro Bowl incentives. And safety Jalen Mills agreed to a 4-year, $24 million contract. For the Jets, wide receiver Corey Davis agreed to a 3-year, $37.5 million contract. Defensive end Shaq Lawson signed a 3-year, $45 million contract that includes $30 million guaranteed and has a max value of $47.4 million. Linebacker Jared Davis signed a 1-year, $7 million deal, and safety Marcus May received the dreaded franchise tag. The AFC North Baltimore Ravens. Offensive guard Kevin Zettler agreed to a 3-year deal with $22 million that includes $16 million guaranteed fully. Defensive end Tyus Bowser re-signed with the team on a 4-year, $22 million deal that could be worth up to $27 million, with $12 million in guarantees. Defensive end Pernell McPhee re-signed to a 1-year deal. Defensive tackle Justin Ellis, 1-year deal. He re-signed. Defensive line Derek Wolfe re-signed 3 years, $12 million. That will pay him $6.5 million this season. Cincinnati, WKRP, the Bengals. Quarterback Brandon Allen re-signed to a 1-year contract. Defensive end Trey Hendrickson signed a 4-year, $60 million deal. That includes $32 million in the first 2 years. Cornerback Chidobe Awuzie signed a 3-year, $21.75 million deal that includes $9.25 million in year 1. He can earn a $250,000 bonus each year for making the Pro Bowl, taking the max value of his contract to $22.5 million. Quarterback Mike Hilton signed a 4-year deal with $24 million with $8.5 million in the first year. And line safety Clark Harris re-signed a 1-year deal. Cleveland Browns. Defensive end Takaris McKinley, 1-year deal with $4 million. Safety John Johnson signed a 3-year, $33.75 million deal with $24 million guaranteed. For the Steelers, is this nice? Wide receiver Ray McLeod agreed to a re-sign on a 1-year deal. Offensive tackle Zach Banner re-signed on a 2-year, $9.5 million deal, including $3.25 million signing bonus. Offensive lineman B.J. Finney signed a 1-year contract. Cornerback Cameron Sutton staying in Pittsburgh, 2-year, $9 million deal. In the AFC South, the Houston Texans did a lot of shopping, and boy, did they get a laundry list. Here we go. Quarterback Tyrod Taylor, 1-year deal worth up to $12.5 million. Running back Mark Ingram, 1-year deal worth up to $3 million. That includes a $500,000 signing bonus. He will have a $1.5 million base salary, $500,000 in per game roster bonuses, and $500,000 in incentives tied to total yards. Wide receiver Andre Robert, 2-year deal worth up to $5.95 million. Offensive tackle Marcus Cannon acquired in a trade with the New England Patriots. Trade does not become official until the start of the new league year on March 17th. Offensive guard Justin McCray, 2 years, $4 million. That's worth up to $5.5 million with incentives. Offensive lineman Justin Britt, 1 year, $3.2 million, worth up to $5 million. Defensive end Shaq Lawson acquired in trade with the Dolphins for linebacker Benedict McKinney. Trade does not become official until March 17th, the start of the new league year. Defensive end Derek Rivers agreed to terms on a 1-year, $1.3 million deal. Defensive tackle Malik Collins, 1-year, $6 million deal. Linebacker Camus Grugier-Hill, 1-year, $3.25 million. Linebacker Christian Kirksey, 1 year, $4.5 million. Cornerback Terrence Mitchell, 2-year, $7.5 million. Cornerback Vernon Hargraves III, 1-year deal, no terms. Were made public. Safety Terrence Brooks, 1 year, $2 million deal. For the Indianapolis Colts, Carson Wentz, the quarterback, acquired in a trade with the Philadelphia Eagles for a 2021 third-round pick and a conditional 2022 second-rounder. Trade does not become official until midnight tonight. Jacksonville Jags also did some shopping. Let's go to it. Running back Carlos Hyde, 2-year, $6 million. Wide receivers Jamal Agnew, 3-year, $21 million. Philip Dorsett, he signed with the Jags, no terms disclosed. Marvin Jones signed a short-term deal worth $7 million. Offensive tackle Cam Robinson received the franchise tag. Offensive guard Tyler Slatley, terms of the deal have not been disclosed. Defensive ends Dwayne Smoot re-signed 2 years, $14 million. Tyson Alualu, 2 years, $6 million. Jihad Award, 1 year, $2.5 million with $2 million guaranteed. Defensive tackles Malcolm Brown acquired in trade with the Saints. Doesn't become official until tomorrow or later today, in about 7 minutes. And Roy Robertson Harris, 3-year, $24.4 million contract that includes $14 million guaranteed. Cornerbacks Sidney Jones re-signed, and Shaquille Griffin signed a 3-year, $44.5 million deal with Jacksonville with $29 million guaranteed. Safeties Rudy Ford agreed to a 2-year, $4.2 million, and Rayshawn Jenkins, 4-year, $35 million contract with $16 million fully guaranteed and a maximum value of $39.5 million through incentives. Tennessee Titans tight end Jeff Schweim, 1 year, $2.5 million deal with $2.25 million guaranteed. Offensive tackle Kendall Lamb agreed to a 2-year contract, $8.5 million. Defensive end Danico Autry signed 3-year deal with $21.5 million with $9 million guaranteed. He'll earn $14.25 million over the first 2 years. Linebacker Bud Dupree signed a 5-year contract worth up to $85 million with $35 million guaranteed. Cornerback Janoris Jenkins, free agent deal with Tennessee. The AFC West, defensive tackle Shelby Harris, staying in Denver, 3 years, $27 million with $15 million guaranteed. Cornerback Ronald Darby, 3-year, $30 million. That includes $19.5 million fully guaranteed. And safety Justin Simmons received the franchise tag. KC Chiefs. Offensive guard Joe Thuney signed a 5-year deal worth $80 million. That includes $32.5 million fully guaranteed at signing. The 3rd year of the contract is only guaranteed for injury. However, converts to full in 2022, which brings the practical guaranteed signing to $48 million. And defensive end Taco Charlton re-signed on a 1-year deal. The Vegas Raiders defensive end Yannick Ngakoue signed a 2-year contract, $26 million. Los Angeles Chargers center Corey Linsley signed a 5-year, $62.5 million deal. They'll pay him $26 million over the first 2 years. Quarterback Michael Davis re-signed on a 3-year deal that includes $15 million guaranteed. And kicker Michael Bagley re-signed on a 1-year deal. NFC East, Dak Prescott, the quarterback. 4-year, $160 million contract that has a max value of $164 million and includes $126 million guaranteed. Offensive tackle Ty Neshke agreed to terms on a 1-year deal, and quarterback C.J. Goodwin stayed with the team on a 2-year deal for $3.5 million with $2 million guaranteed. New York Giants running back Devontae Booker, 2 years, $6 million. Wide receiver John Rush, 1 year, $2.5 million, including $1 million guaranteed. And defensive end Leonard Williams got the franchise tag, but Williams and the team later agreed on a 3-year deal for $63 million, including $45 million guaranteed fully. He will also receive a signing bonus of $22.5 million, while his cap figure will fall to $11 million. Nothing dealing on the Philadelphia Eagles end. Washington football team quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, 1 year, $10 million with a max value of $12 million. Offensive guard Brandon Sheriff received the franchise tag. Cornerback William Jackson III signed a 3-year, $42 million deal with $26 million guaranteed. Kicker Dustin Hopkins signed a 1-year veteran qualifying contract worth $2,462,500 and includes $1,887,500 fully guaranteed. In the NFC North, the Chicago Bears got a little shopping done. Quarterback Andy Dalton, 1 year, $10 million, that has a max value of $13 million with incentives. Wide receiver Allen Robinson got the franchise tag. Offensive lineman Jermaine Ifedi re-signed a 1 year contract worth up to $5 million. Defensive end Mario Edwards Jr. re-signed on a 3 year, $11.55 million deal. Kicker Carlos Santos re-signed on a 3 year, $9 million deal that has a maximum value of $11 million. And punter Pat O'Donnell re-signed on a 1 year contract. For the Lions, quarterback Jared Goff acquired in trade with the Los Angeles Rams, along with a 2021 third-round pick and the first-round picks in 2022 and 23 for quarterback Matthew Stafford. Trade will become official in about 3 minutes, as will other trades. Wide receiver Tyrell Williams signed a 1 year, $4.7 million contract, max value $6.2 million. Tight end Josh Hill, terms of contract not disclosed. Defensive end Romeo Okwara re-signed 3 year deal, $39 million. The deal includes a $14 million signing bonus, $26 million over the first 2 years, $20 million fully guaranteed at signing, $5 million guaranteed for injury, which becomes fully guaranteed in March of 2022. For the Packers, Aaron Jones, running back, re-signed 4 year deal, $48 million. That includes $13 million signing bonus. For the Vikings, defensive lineman Rashad Hill re-signed a 1 year, $2.377,500 million deal that is fully guaranteed. Defensive end Stephen Weatherly, 1 year, $2.5 million contract with $500,000 in incentives. Defensive tackle Dalvin Tomlinson, 2 year, $22 million deal that includes $16 million fully guaranteed. Linebacker Nick Vigil signed a 1 year deal that includes more than $1 million guaranteed. Now in the NFC South, tight end Lee Smith acquired in trade with the Buffalo Bills in exchange for a late round 2022 draft pick. Carolina Panthers offensive tackle Taylor Morton, franchised. Offensive guard Pat Eflin agreed to a 3 year, $11.5 million deal that includes $6 million guaranteed. New Orleans Saints quarterback Jameis Winston re-signed on a 1 year, $5.5 million deal that includes $4.5 million signing bonus, $1 million fully guaranteed base salary, and has a max value of $12.5 million with incentives. Running back Ty Montgomery re-signed to a 1 year deal that includes $137,500 signing bonus. Offensive lineman James Hurst agreed to a 3 year deal. Safety Marcus Williams received franchise tag. Tampa Bay Bucks also went shopping. Wide receiver Chris Godwin, franchise. Tight end Rob Gronkowski re-signed on a 1 year, $8 million deal worth up to $10 million. Defensive end Shaquille Barrett re-signed on a 4 year, $68 million deal that includes $36 million fully guaranteed. Barrett can earn an additional $1 million per year in sack and playoff escalators. Linebacker Levante David re-signed 2 years, $25 million. His new contract includes 3 voidable years to help spread out his cap figure. Will carry a $3.5 million cap hit in 2021. Linebacker Kevin Minter re-signed on a 1 year contract. NFC West, Arizona Cardinals. Offensive tackle Kevin Beachum stayed in Arizona, 2 year deal. Defensive end Marcus Golden re-signed on a 2 year, $9 million deal. Defensive end J.J. Watt signed 2 year, $31 million deal that includes $23 million guaranteed. Linebacker Tanner Vallejo re-signed on a 2 year, $4.1 million deal. Cornerback Robert Alford re-signed on a 1 year deal. Punter Andy Lee re-signed also on a 1 year deal. LA Rams, of course, Matthew Stafford. We've already done that. Linebacker Leonard Floyd, a 4 year, $64 million contract for the 49ers. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk re-signed 5 year deal worth $27 million. Linebacker Samson Ebukam, 2 year, $12 million deal that has maximum value of $13.5 million. Cornerback Emmanuel Mosley, 2 year contract worth up to $10.1 million. Cornerback Jason Verrett staying on a 1 year deal, including $5.5 million base salary. And if he reaches the Pro Bowl, it can become $6.5 million deal. For the Seahawks, nose tackle Puna Ford re-signed to a 2 year deal worth up to $14 million with incentives. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a nutshell of the NFL Free agency fandango. And we've done about half of this. So, we've we've done about half of all this. Half of our headlines too. Let's get you some NBA scores. And we pull it off. It's 12:02. By the way, Nick Ricada, I do believe he's on tonight. Please watch on the Ricada Law channel here on YouTube. All scores that you're going to hear are provided as a service of William Hill Sportsbook. Let's make it interesting, but let's do so responsibly. Okay, in the NBA, early in the fourth, the New Orleans Pelicans lead the Portland Trailblazers 99-85. 8:01 remaining in the third. The Minnesota Timberwolves lead the LA Lakers 84-79. Final scores: Utah Jazz over the Boston Celtics 117-109. Atlanta Hawks over the Houston Rockets 119-107. Miami Heat over the Cleveland Cavaliers 113-98. Chicago Bulls over the Oklahoma City Thunder 123-102. 76ers over the New York Knicks 99-96. And that's it right there in a Canute shell. Whew. Man. Let's see, let's go to college basketball. And it's been fun so far, hasn't it? Yes, it has. Utah has announced plans that, aren't going to shock. After a busy Monday on the college basketball carousel, the spinning continued Tuesday with Utah announcing that it is parting with Larry Kriskowiak. After his 10th season on the job, the Utes finished 12-13, 8-11 in the Pac-12 this season. Last appeared in the NCAA tournament in 2016. His tenure peaked in 2015-2016. Thank you, guys. With a pair of NCAA tournament appearances, including a trip to the Sweet 16 in 2015 that ended with a 6-point loss to eventual national champion Duke, who is not in it this year due to COVID. In total, Kriskowiak amassed a 183-139 record that includes a 91-90 mark in Pac-12 play. His arrival coincided with Utah's first season in the Pac-12, and after 2 losing seasons, he guided the program to 6 straight years of above 500 records or better in conference action. The 56-year-old former Montana star and journeyman NBA player was a New Jersey Nets assistant before landing the Utes job. There you go. Let's kibble to that. All right. We did the NHL. Let's give you the NBA. Then we'll get some media bites and everything else before we call it a night. Okay, we're about 10 minutes away from ending our little show here. And I am going to breathe deeply. It's like I'm filling up with something. I don't know what. And here we go with NHL scores. I've already did the commercials, so let's finish up. Oh, final scores, and we do have some with the 3 stars. Washington Capitals beat the New York Islanders 3-1. Ovechkin for Washington, 1 goal, 1 assist. Backstrom for Washington, 1 goal, 1 assist. Samsonov, 21 saves for Washington. Boston Bruins over the Pittsburgh Penguins, 2-1. Vladar for Boston, 34 saves. Frederick for Boston, 1 goal. And DeSmith for Pittsburgh, 31 saves. New Jersey Devils over the Buffalo Sabres, 3-2. Wood for New Jersey, 1 goal. Kukkonen for New Jersey, 1 assist, and Blackwood for New Jersey, 33 saves. Red Wings over the Colorado. Detroit Red Wings over the Carolina Hurricanes by a score 4-2. Ernie for Detroit, 2 goals. Bernier for Detroit, 35 saves. And Hronik for Detroit, 1 goal, 2 assists. Minnesota Wild over the Arizona Coyotes, 3-0. Kekkonen for Minnesota, 31 saves. Spurgeon for Minnesota, 1 goal. And Cole made his presence totally known. Okay. Lightning over the Stars, 4-3 in a shootout. Point, 1 goal, 1 assist for Tampa. Hedman for Tampa, 1 goal or 1 assist. Oettinger for Dallas, 33 saves. Avalanche over the Ducks, 8-4. No 3 stars on that one. And there you go. There's your NHL. Okay. Sorry, folks. No. I swear I feel like it. Okay. Let's not keep a good thing going. Let's press on. We're here to about 12:15, and here we go. Let's make this good and let's make it understood, shall we? We shall. Okay, in the Champions League, Manchester City in the round of 16. Manchester City defeated Borussia Mönchengladbach 2-0 in an aggregate 4-0. Real Madrid over Atalanta 3-1. An aggregate 4-1. In Championship, Cardiff City and Stoke City tied at 0. Derby County and Brentford tied at 2. Luton Town over Coventry City 2-0. Middlesbrough over Preston North End 2-0. Watford over Rotherham United 4-1. And Bournemouth over Swansea City 3-0. League One Championships, Wimbledon and Wigan Athletic tied at 1. Blackpool and Burton Albion tied at 1. Carlton Athletic, a 3-2 winner over Bristol Rovers. Gillingham over Lincoln City, 3-0. Milton Keynes Dons, 2-1 winner over Plymouth Argyle. Oxford United, 3-0 winner over Doncaster Rovers. Peterborough United over Portsmouth, 1-0. Fleetwood Town over Ipswich Town, 2-0. League Two action, Barrow over Cheltenham Town, 2-0. Crawley Town and Walsall tied at 1. Port Vale, a 2-1 winner over Newport County. Salford City and Colchester United, Goose Eggs. Scunthorpe United and Oldham Athletic tied at 1, and Mansfield Town and Carlisle United also tied at 1. National League action. Bromley over Yeovil Town 2-1. Woking and Altrincham tied at 1. Maidenhead United over Torquay United 4-1. Dagenham and Redbridge over Weymouth tied at 1. Boreham Wood and Notts County tied at 2. Halifax Town over Aldershot Town, 1-0. Wrexham and Eastleigh, 2-2 tie. Stockport County, a 2-1 winner over Barrett. Kingland Town and Hartlepool United tied at 2. And Sutton United over Chesterfield, 1-0. Scottish Championship, Ayr United and Dundee, or Ale United 3, Dundee 1. Inverness Caledonia Thistle over Wraith Rovers, 1-0. In the Simru Premier, Konas Quay Nonrids over Ballatown 3-1. Penbout over Barrytown United 1-0. New Saints over Sefton Druids 5-0. And in the Irish Premiership, it was Larne over Carrick Rangers 3-1. Glenavon over Glentoran 2-1. Linfield over Dungeness Swifts 2-0. Warren Point Town and Ballymena United tied at 1. And do we have any brief stint of media bite for tonight, courtesy of our friends at Awful Announcing? We will find out. The tournament selection show dropped 12% from 2019, but it was still watched more than the much derided expanded editions. This is something interesting, but here we go. Another situation from the United Football Players Association. Ooh, this is freaky. Follow the bouncing ball. And here it is. Following the Canadian Football League's August decision to call off its 2020 season entirely over COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting Canadian federal and provincial health regulations on sports, there's been a lot of speculation about what's ahead for the league. That move meant many players didn't get paid, and even some of those who were supposed to be paid regardless of games, like BC Lions quarterback Mike Riley, didn't get what they were due, leading to filed contract grievances. And there's giant, big, huge uncertainty ahead about what the CFL's 2021 plan is, especially given Canada slower relative to the U.S. vaccine rollout, and especially given last week's news on the CFL, quote, exploring opportunities for alignment, end quote, with the remains of the XFL, a league that was suspended in April 2020 that saw its remaining assets purchased in bankruptcy by Danny Garcia and former CFL player turned wrestler turned movie and TV star Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and a league that announced this week that they were putting their own 2022 season plans on hold pending discussions with the CFL. Now, that provided the optimum tinderbox for a group called the United Football Players Association to strike a spark with a tweet Tuesday, which claimed that the CFL was looking to cancel both its 2021 and 2022 season. We quote from said tweet, important update regarding the immediate statuses of the upcoming CFL and XFL seasons. We are sharing this information in an effort to keep players informed. This information has come to us directly from multiple sources. We will dig deeper and keep you posted. Now, before we get too far in this, it's worth discussing just what the UFPA is and is not. As noted by the CFL today, they have no standing to bargain with the CFL. CFL players are members of the CFL Players Association, the union that represented CFL players since '65. Now, so this is not the officially recognized CFL Players Union that's tweeting this. Rather, it's a nonprofit advocacy and welfare organization established last year to, quote, push for the best interest of players outside of the NFL and NFL Players Association to avoid more negative situations similar to those that followed the bankruptcies of the XFL and AAFL. As per an October 2020 piece from Matt Lyons of XFL News Hub, we're not going to read it in total. There's absolutely some merit to an advocacy organization on behalf of players outside the NFL, especially when it comes to U.S.-based leagues like the XFL and the 8 and the 2AF. It only lasted for a hot minute and 3 seconds and left their players with a lot of problems after both folded. However, the CFL is a rather different kettle of fish. Unlike countless U.S.-based alternative leagues that have fallen by the wayside over the past couple of decades, the CFL has been around continuously in that name since '58, with many of its member clubs dating back much further. And with its biggest pause to date being last year's skipped season as a result of global pandemic. And it's certainly curious that the UFPA is out here making provocative claims about a league that already has a recognized actual union rather than a nonprofit advocacy organization. Beyond that, though, the claims made by UFPA are not false, necessarily. It is absolutely believable that former and current league coaches and executives have spoken to him, but that indicated sourcing should come with its own set of questions. The CFL is currently in a high state of flux, and much of its future has nothing to do with anyone involved with the league at all. Rather, that future is in the hands of the Canadian federal and provincial health officials, who determine what sorts of gatherings, including viewership of sporting events, be allowed this summer and fall. Now, former league coaches and executives presumably have no knowledge of what CFL restrictions might be in place beyond anything they've gleaned from conversations with current executives. Even current coaches don't have a lot of knowledge of that. Even some executives are in that same boat. The only relevant knowledge right now is those with health authorities. So any claims of a decided status for the 2021 CFL season should be filled and viewed with a grain of salt, a very tiny grain. Right now, it seems unlikely that even CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosie knows if they're going to have a season this year, or if so, when will it start, and what will it look like. Anonymous sources, especially including former coaches and executives, don't know what's going on. And it's absurd, especially when those claims translate into 2022, a season which would presumably take place after pandemic issues are largely gone. So right now, now there are huge as if those health authorities allow for CFL level gatherings, it would be absolutely absurd for a league to not try and play an even shortened schedule based on some vague future discussion about a possible merger with the XFL, which is currently a bankrupt league with no teams, no players, and anything else. There are huge benefits for the CFL from getting whatever games in they can this year, both in terms of their TSN TV contract and much lesser degree their ESPN deal in the U.S., and in terms of their in-person attendance revenue. So stay tuned, kiddies. This could be very interesting indeed. So we'll talk more about this on a future broadcast. Like tomorrow, we'll continue this. Right now, we are literally over our allotted time, but we'll continue here. After NBC Sports Bay Area didn't renew Amy Gutierrez's contract, the Giants hired her as a multimedia producer and reporter. Hooray! Let's see what else. I think that's about it. It is. We have completed a bit of a chemin de fou. Are we almost done here? Yeah, let's do a quick scoreboard, and we will be done with our broadcast. Not a moment too soon, but still, it has been fun. But I am weighted elsewhere. So let's get to some scoreboard, and then we will bid you all good night. I'll go to my friends on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Minds, Instagram, and of course TikTok, and every other social media thing we're connected to here on Sports Final. This is run smoothly right about now. And I am going to take this time to say thank you, everybody, for watching. Let's go for a final move or two to what have we got here? Basketball. Let's go to it. In the EuroLeague, it was Anadolu Efes against the Maccabi Tel Aviv, 90-66. In Spain, Barcelona beat Unicaja 79-55. Sweden, Bornes, a 3-1 winner over Örebro, and Frölunda, 3-1 winner over Oxfam. And in baseball, the Japanese preseason, Nippon Pro Baseball League, Oric Buffaloes over the Rakuten Golden Eagles, 5-3. Seibu Lions over the Hiroshima Carp, 1-0. Hanshin Tigers over the Yakut Swallows, 9-6. Chunichi Dragons over the Yomiuri Giants, 6-1. The Silverhawks over the Yokohama Bay Stars, 1-0. Nippon Ham Fighters over the Chiba Marines, 3-2. Second inning score, no scores on the Rakuten Golden Eagles or Buffaloes game. They're in the second. Just underway, Hanshin Tigers lead the Seibu Lions 1-0. And in the second inning, Hiroshima Carp over the Yakut Swallows 1-0. Okay, let's make this one feel like a meal. First, we go ninth inning. Texas Rangers over the San Francisco Giants 10-5. Seattle Mariners over the Kansas City Royals 13-0. Colorado Rockies over the Cincinnati Reds 11-6. Final scores: Miami over Washington 4-3. Chicago White Sox over the Padres 4-3. The California Angels over the Cleveland Indians 17-8. Arizona Diamondbacks over the Oakland A's 12-3. Brewers over the Dodgers 7-2. Nets over the Astros 8-3. Rays over the Orioles 7-1. Toronto over Philadelphia 14-5. Or Toronto over Philadelphia 14-5. Pirates over the Twins 4-2. Yankees over the Tigers 7-4. And the Red Sox over the Braves 5-3. And here's a little titter for you. LeBron James is now part of the ownership tree for the Boston Red Sox. And that, ladies and gentlemen, for want of a better day of doing this, means we have hit the mark. We're 45 minutes. That's going to wrap it up for us. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. I'll see you tomorrow, 11:35 Eastern Time. Thank you. Good night, everybody.